Hello, my friend. So you need to get out of your head. The head, the brain, the mind is a powerful tool and an excellent servant, but a terrible master. There's this quote from Alan Watts where he says, "A person who thinks too much loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions." He goes on to say, "By thoughts, I mean specifically chatter in the skull, perpetual and compulsive repetition of words, of reckoning and calculating." This is something I've been guilty of, so much so that I feel it in my crown, in my forehead, this radiating sense in times where I'm trying to analyze and calculate and strategize every move and interpret everyone's reaction. And it's a misuse of energy, a misuse of brain power, where that should be going is towards my mission, towards my purpose, towards making my world and the world of those around me that I care about better. Instead, it's often been warped inward. When we have idle time and we don't have things to do, we don't have something to live for or drive or create a sense of meaning around, we have too much space for the mind to invade. And so how do we get out of our heads? Well, if we're not going to be in our heads, where else are we going to be? In our bodies. And so a few things that have been very helpful for me is meditation, is journaling, is breath work, but also becoming more aware of the thoughts. And I speak about this a lot, but becoming aware of the patterns of when this unfolds and trying to catch it in real time. And doesn't mean you can control it, doesn't mean you can outthink your mind or think your way out of the mind. But I want you to imagine yourself lying on a grassy hill, looking up at the clouds like you did once upon a time when you were a kid and probably haven't done in a very long time. And the clouds, they come and they go. And there's been moments where I've tried to take pictures of a certain cloud, where I've tried to capture the cloud, but by the time I get my phone out and get everything situated, the cloud's already gone. Because that's how reality works. The mind wants to create a fantasy where we can capture and hold on to things and warp and control them into our own devices, our own designs, our own intentions. But that's not how reality works. Things come and go, and so a metric for how good you're living life is how easily you can let go. Because there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, there's going to be challenging times. And sometimes they leave an imprint on us. But it is as thinking makes it so. But if we're out of our minds and we're not thinking and we're in our bodies and we're feeling through the sensations that happen, we can move forward. They say a man doesn't step into the same river twice. Or is it that it's the same river but not the same man? Life is very interesting. And it's something that we're all trying to figure out. And I don't know that we'll ever actually figure it out, because what is there to figure out? It's more questions than answers, but merely asking the question is sometimes, and all the times really, a liberating experience and a reminder of being alive. I think about this when I say hi to a beautiful woman that I've never met before, and there's this elevated heart rate, there's this bodily impulse of like, whoa, what can happen, this uncertainty. And so oftentimes we try to avoid that uncertainty. So oftentimes we try to prolong or delay. In my life, I've delayed going through that experience. We need to realize that that's the threshold. That's the crossing the river. And that every day will be that same threshold if you are continuously facing and pushing into your edge. And I'm getting off topic here. It's something we'll talk about in a future video. Something certainly to think about. how can I develop the courage to continuously meet my edge while at the same time being willing to let go of my thoughts and get out of my mind and into my body. Hope this video has been helpful. I'm right now in a process of habitual change and action taking. And so it's my hope to continue to make these videos as often as I can. They might change in format or form, but the goal right now is just to get the reps in. And so these are things that I think about, I journal about, I talk to ChatGPT about all day. Much to my friends' chagrin, I will have a better angle on future videos. I have all this camera equipment strewn about. It's just making the time to get it out. So anyway, catch you later, my friend. Peace.